Hi, hello, welcome. I'm Ruth. I have three different graphic novels to share with you, and they are from different sides of the manga graphic novel spectrum, I would say. The first one, thank you so much to Book Sirens for providing me an advanced reader copy. These thoughts are my own, and I'm excited to share with you what's it about. So the first graphic novel is called I Met Shiro in a Hidden World, Volume 1. This has not come out yet. It will be coming out later in the year. But if you are ones that love to read more slice of life fantasy graphic novels or mangas, then this one might be for you. Naomi is the protagonist, and she has a way with connecting with nature, especially with butterflies, but she also has a adventurous heart, so she gets lost in the forest and she finds herself in company with a not so typical creature. You can tell this novel is very cutesy, very kawaii, as a lot of the manga would describe this, or people that would describe this manga because of the way the characters are drawn. So, cute manga is considered characters with big round eyes. Usually, the face structure is very round, and the colors you can see here very pastel, very light, so it kind of adds to the romantic innocence of this manga. Naomi is also innocent, very pure heart, and you can tell by her personality. Some may think she's childish, but I think it's just part of how this manga is drawn and the genre that it's in. So it's part of the, to me, kawaii. I don't know if it's intentional of the author because I did not read, why she chose this type of style, but it's just from my initial thoughts after reading this graphic novel. A couple of things that the book goes into: family drama, your identity, dealing with some trauma from the past, and just love and adventure. So I think it's a very cute read. I rated a 4 stars. It will be available soon, like I mentioned earlier. So check it out once it's ready on Amazon, and I'll link below the author's website and things like that for you to get to read more about the novel. The next graphic novel I'd like to share with you is called The Best We Could Do. This one is similar to some previous graphic novels that I've read where the author illustrates their struggles of a war-torn Vietnam and how they assimilate to a new place, new culture. This one's a little bit different because it focuses more on the parenting aspect of her family and reflecting more on her family. So this book does tug at your heartstrings, and it's interesting to read about people's different perspectives during that time. I will link below some of the similar graphic novels in the same genre, but I also want to say I do gravitate towards these books too because my family is from Vietnam. I was born here, I'm Vietnamese American, but it's just good to know your roots. And, yeah, war sucks and things happen, but that is a part of history that we need to learn from and hopefully do better. So, the author, how this came about is she's pregnant and she gives birth. So, this kind of makes her reflect on why her parents are the way they are, what were their struggles, what she's struggling with. And so this, like I mentioned, focuses more on the parenting side of it, which is very interesting. Not to make light of the situation, but if you're the type of person that loves to read about celebrity gossip and things like that, this in it of itself a way for readers to learn the tea about other people's family, right? In a sense. But in all seriousness, I love to learn different perspectives and what they dealt with, because her family was from a different area, like they own land, and so they had to struggle with the government taking over their land and just going through a lot of hardships. So it was just interesting to read about how her parents met and their background and things like that. So it was a good read. I would personally rate this a 3 stars, though. Well, one, this is not counting into the rating, but just in general, trigger warning if you don't like reading about war. Uh, there's some sensitive topics in there, so just know that if you're very sensitive to those things. The reason why I give this a 3 stars is while I do enjoy reading about her story, and the rating is not about rating someone's life, it's more so the style of the graphic novel. So she chose to color her graphic novels in these like dark and orange hue, and unfortunately I'm not a fan of her type of illustration, but I do like her story. But that's why. So 3 stars for me there. The last graphic novel that I'd like to share with you is called Monstress. This was published a while back too. This won many awards, but I had to share it because I just read it. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I cannot get over how stunning the illustrations are. Plus, the author and the artist, boss ladies, because they both worked on X-Men, for example, and other comic books. So you can really tell by the comic book style, the coloring, and storytelling that they've had some experience working on some major comic books. The style here, very Art Deco, dark, mysterious. Love it. I love the costume design that the illustrator and the author chose for these characters. Beautiful. If this was like made into a show, wow, the costume design would be amazing. The story is great because one, women are in charge. So, period, right? That's it. That's a wrap. And then the pages, does not have anything to do with the story, but I just love how smooth the pages are. So I appreciate and notice those little details there. Trigger warning too, they do talk about a lot of adult subjects, very sexual in content. So reader discretion advised. Monstress, not recommended for children because of the cussing and the adult nature of what is discussed. And human slavery topics too, so that's why I feel like it's inappropriate for children. This is a good mix of Western and Eastern style storytelling. Protagonist, I think she can work on her anger just a little bit. So she is a teenage girl, so I get it. She has like all these teenage angst. She's also dealing with the aftermath of war, but she has this strange connection to this mysterious monster, and if she were to get captured, they powers that be will be using her for nefarious reasons. There's some human war going on with these archonics. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but archonics. So there's like witches and people with power that are fighting for, you guessed it, ruling over people and just gaining power. So that's a lot of the theme of this book here, and also dealing with some sort of family drama. So I love that all these graphic novels that I've mentioned to you today have some sort of family trauma that people are dealing with. But this one, I think, is more on the darker side of the graphic novel scale because of, again, the topics that are discussed and just the way that it's colored. Beautiful. I mean, very dark colors, rich. So that's why I say all these graphic novels fall on the scale different, and there's something for everyone. So my final rating on this one is 4 stars, Monstress. There's a couple volumes that have gone out, so I'm gonna try to get my hands on reading the rest of it and reporting back to you how I feel about the rest of the volumes there. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Like always, please let me know your thoughts. Did you like any of these graphic novels? Maybe you didn't like any of these graphic novels. Please leave a like, comment, share, rate, subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. Happy reading.